Today, I want to talk to you about a topic that resonates with so many of us, saving money on a limited income. Specifically, how to save $10,000 when you're earning a $50,000 salary. For many, this might sound daunting or even impossible, but trust me when I say that it's entirely feasible and you don't have to feel deprived or broke in the process. First, let's start by acknowledging the reality of the situation. Saving money is never as easy as it seems. Especially when bills are piling up, life feels expensive, and there's always something new to spend money on. But here's the truth. With some strategic planning, conscious choices, and a little bit of discipline, you can save a significant amount of money without dramatically altering your lifestyle. It's about making small, consistent changes that add up over time. So let's break this down into actionable steps. The first key to saving $10,000 on a $50,000 salary is understanding your current financial situation. It means taking an honest look at your income, expenses, debts, and savings habits. A lot of people don't realize how much they're spending in areas that could easily be trimmed down. The goal here is to get organized and set a realistic budget. To start, track every single penny you're spending for at least a month. There are apps for this, or you can do it manually if that's more your style. The point is to be thorough. From your rent or mortgage payments to your daily cup of coffee, everything counts. This will give you a clear picture of where your money is going. Once you have a sense of your spending habits, you can identify areas to cut back. Now it's time to tackle the budgeting part. The 50-30-20 rule is a good place to start. This rule divides your after-tax income into three categories: 50% for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings and debt repayment. For a $50,000 salary, that means allocating $25,000 to your basic living expenses like rent, utilities, groceries, $15,000 for discretionary spending, things you enjoy but could live without, like dining out, entertainment, or shopping, and $10,000 for savings and debt reduction. What's key here is to focus on the 20% savings. This is the area where your $10,000 target will come from. That means putting aside 8,333s every month. At first glance, that might seem like a lot. But remember, it's not all about drastic sacrifices. You'll be surprised at how much you can save with a few intentional changes. Let's dive deeper into cutting costs. Now, I'm not talking about giving up everything you love. I'm talking about being strategic with your spending. Let's start with the obvious one: housing. Housing is typically the largest expense for most people, so cutting back here can have a huge impact. If you're renting, you might want to consider moving to a less expensive place, finding a roommate, or negotiating with your landlord for a lower rent. If you own a home, refinancing your mortgage to get a better interest rate or considering downsizing could save you hundreds each month. Next up, look at your transportation costs. If you own a car, are you spending a fortune on gas, insurance, or maintenance? If you live in a city with good public transit, this could be a good time to ditch the car or use it less frequently. If that's not an option, consider carpooling, biking, or walking more often. Every dollar saved here can go straight into your savings account. Another area that many people overlook is subscriptions and memberships. We often sign up for things we think we'll use, but then forget about or stop using altogether. Netflix, gym memberships, magazines, music streaming services, these things add up. Take a good look at your subscriptions and cancel any that you aren't using regularly. You can always sign up again later if you really miss them. And don't forget to check if there are any discounts or cheaper alternatives for the things you do keep. Now let's talk about food. Dining out and ordering takeout might seem like small indulgences, but they add up fast. If you're spending $10, $20 a day on lunch or dinner, that's $300, $600 a month. One of the best ways to save money while still eating well is to cook at home. Meal prepping on Sundays and bringing your lunch to work can make a big difference. It might feel like an effort at first, but once you get into the routine, it becomes second nature. Entertainment is another area where you can scale back. We all need to unwind, but going out to concerts, movies, or bars every weekend can quickly eat into your savings. Instead, look for cheaper alternatives: free events, hiking, movie nights at home, or trying out new hobbies that don't require spending money. You'll be surprised how much fun you can have without breaking the bank. Another smart move for saving money is to automate your savings. If you wait until the end of the month to save whatever's left over, you're probably not going to save as much as you'd like. Instead, set up an automatic transfer from your checking account to a savings account the day after you get dead. Even if it's just $100 a week, over time, it adds up. Out of sight, out of mind. This is one of the easiest ways to ensure that you save consistently without feeling the pinch. A lot of people also make the mistake of focusing on just cutting costs without thinking about increasing income. While saving is important, earning more can give you the boost you need to hit your goal faster. If you have the time and energy, consider taking on a side hustle. Freelance work, tutoring, dog sitting, or selling items online are all great ways to make extra money. You don't need to become a full-time entrepreneur, but finding an extra $500 or $1,000 a month can make a huge difference when you're trying to save. Another way to bring in more cash is by investing in yourself. If you have a skill or talent, see if there's a way you can monetize it. For example, if you're good with digital marketing, web design, or writing, you could offer your services to small businesses or individuals looking for help. Building a side income stream not only accelerates your savings, but also opens up more opportunities for financial growth down the line. I also want to touch on the importance of avoiding debt. If you have credit card debt or loans, the interest you're paying is probably eating into your ability to save. Prioritize paying down high interest debts as quickly as possible and avoid accumulating more. The less you owe, the more you can put towards savings. Finally, let's talk about the mindset shift required to save money without feeling broke. Saving doesn't mean depriving yourself of joy or never treating yourself. It's about being intentional and mindful with how you spend your money. When you know that every dollar you save brings you closer to your financial goal, it actually becomes empowering rather than limiting. Plus, when you hit that $10,000 savings target, the satisfaction and sense of accomplishment will make it all worth it. In conclusion, saving $10,000 on a $50,000 salary isn't just a pipe dream, it's entirely achievable if you take control of your finances, cut back on unnecessary expenses, and stay disciplined. And remember, saving doesn't have to feel like a sacrifice. By being mindful of your spending, focusing on your goals, and making small changes to your lifestyle, you can save without feeling broke. The first crucial step in saving money is to fully understand where your money is going. Many people don't realize how much they're spending on things they don't really need or use. This is where tracking your expenses becomes essential. Spend at least a month tracking every penny you spend, whether it's rent, groceries, a latte, or that new pair of shoes. You can do this manually or use budgeting apps like Mint, YNAB, You Need a Budget, or even simple spreadsheets to categorize your spending. The key is to be thorough and honest with yourself. Only once you have a clear, detailed picture of your financial habits can you start making changes. Once you've tracked everything, you can step back and evaluate. What are the non-essential expenses that are taking up more of your income than you realized? Housing is usually the largest expense for most people, and sometimes that's where the most significant savings can be found. If you're renting, consider whether your current place is within your budget, or if you could move to a less expensive apartment or neighborhood. Even moving in with a roommate or negotiating with your landlord for a rent reduction can result in hundreds of dollars saved each month. Transportation is another big category. If you drive, your costs may be higher than you think when you add up gas, insurance, parking, and maintenance. Could you carpool, use public transit, or even work from home a few days a week? If you live in an area where public transportation is reliable, giving up the car altogether might be a great way to save money on monthly expenses like car payments and insurance. Even small tweaks like walking or biking for shorter trips can add up over time. Food is another area where people often overspend without realizing it. Eating out and ordering takeout can be tempting and convenient, but these costs add up fast. A coffee here, lunch there, or dinner out every night might not seem like much individually, but over a month, it can easily be several $100s. One of the most effective ways to save money on food is to plan your meals, shop smart, and cook at home. Meal prepping for the week and bringing your lunch to work are simple but powerful strategies that can lead to significant savings. Cutting back on eating out doesn't mean you have to stop enjoying food. It just means being more intentional with your choices. Subscriptions and memberships are often sneaky expenses that many people overlook. You might be paying for services or entertainment you don't actually use, like a streaming service you've barely watched or a gym membership you're not using. Review your subscriptions and cancel anything that doesn't serve a real purpose. Even if you cut back on one or two of these expenses, it can result in extra cash that can go directly into your savings. By tracking your spending and identifying areas to optimize, you can start making small adjustments that free up more money for your savings goals. The key here is to be mindful and intentional. It's not about depriving yourself, but about making smarter choices that align with your financial goals. One of the most effective strategies for saving money is to automate the process. It's all too easy to think about saving after you've spent on the things you want or need. However, this approach often leaves us with little or nothing to save by the end of the month. Automating your savings removes this guesswork and helps you stay consistent. The idea is simple. Set up automatic transfers from your checking account to a dedicated savings account right after you get paid. This way you pay yourself first before the temptation of spending kicks in. The beauty of automation is that it takes the decision making out of the equation. You don't have to manually move money or worry about whether you have enough left over to save after all your bills are paid. Instead, it happens without you even having to think about it. If you get paid bi-weekly, set up an automatic transfer for a set amount, say $100 every week or $200 every 2 weeks. Even if the amount feels small at first, consistency is the key. Over time, these small amounts add up, and you'll find yourself reaching your savings goals without a lot of effort or sacrifice. Another benefit of automating your savings is that it makes you more disciplined about budgeting. When you know that your savings are automatically deducted, you're more mindful of the remaining balance in your checking account. This can help curb impulse spending because you're already committed to putting a portion of your income away. For example, if you set up a recurring transfer to a high-interest savings account, you may also benefit from earning some extra interest over time, which can give you that additional push to keep saving. It's also important to note that the amount doesn't have to be massive. Even setting aside a small, manageable amount each week can result in significant savings by the end of the year. For instance, saving $100 a week may not seem like much, but by the end of the year, you'll have saved. By prioritizing savings this way, you're creating a habit that leads to financial security over time. The key is to start small, stay consistent, and gradually increase the amount as your financial situation improves. Automating your savings also creates a sense of financial peace of mind. You don't have to worry about manually moving money every month or making decisions about whether you can afford to save. It becomes a seamless part of your financial routine. And over time, you'll notice that the habit of saving becomes second nature. The more consistent you are with automated savings, the easier it will become to reach your financial goals, whether that's saving for an emergency fund, a vacation, or a long-term goal, like buying a house or retirement. Increasing your income can be a game changer when it comes to reaching your savings goals, especially if you're aiming to save a substantial amount like $10,000 on a $50,000 salary. While cutting costs is important, boosting your income gives you more flexibility and accelerates the process. One of the best ways to do this is through side hustles or finding ways to leverage your existing skills to earn extra money. Side hustles come in many forms. The most obvious option is freelancing, which can take on numerous shapes depending on your skill set. If you're a writer, graphic designer, web developer, or marketer, there's a strong demand for freelance services. Platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, and Freelancer make it easy to find gigs and work on projects in your spare time. If you're skilled in social media management, virtual assistants, or copywriting, there's also plenty of work available. Even if you don't have these skills already, consider learning a high-demand one like coding, digital marketing, or video editing, which can be relatively easy to pick up with a little effort. Tutoring is another great side hustle, especially if you excel in certain subjects or have specialized knowledge. With the rise of online education, platforms like Chegg, Tutor.com, and even local tutoring services provide opportunities for teaching both in person and virtually. You could tutor subjects you're passionate about, like math, English, or science, or even teach English as a second language to non-native speakers. Tutoring not only provides extra income, but can also be a fulfilling and meaningful way to spend your time. If you're looking for something that doesn't require a specific skill set, consider selling unused items around your home. Platforms like eBay, Facebook Marketplace, and Poshmark make it simple to sell things you no longer need, whether it's clothes, electronics, or furniture. Decluttering not only frees up space in your home, but also puts extra cash in your pocket, which can go straight into your savings account. Another option is to invest in yourself through courses or certifications that will allow you to grow your earning potential in the future. If you're stuck in a job with little room for advancement or salary increases, it might be worth investing in professional development. Whether it's earning a certification in a specific field, learning a new skill like coding, or improving your communication or leadership abilities, investing in yourself often pays off by opening up higher paying opportunities down the line. There are numerous affordable online platforms like Coursera, LinkedIn Learning, or Udemy, where you can gain new skills at your own pace and with minimal upfront costs. The more you earn, the faster you'll reach your savings goal, and it also gives you more breathing room in your budget for fun or unexpected expenses. Even though it requires time and energy to work a side hustle, the extra income can be a huge motivator. Plus, the more income streams you create, the more financial security you build for yourself. When you earn more, you have greater flexibility to save, invest, and build wealth over time. In the long run, boosting your income through side hustles or investing in yourself is one of the most effective ways to reach financial milestones, like saving $10,000 or achieving even bigger goals.